Hello, it's Tuesday.
Hello.
Hello. Well, hello to you fellows as well. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Chin, what was it you said? Chin, chin. What did you say, John? chin, wag, or something. Never heard it. Never heard it said in Britonshire. This is the Rokk Review, and it's Tuesday, which means we get a This Week on Stadia. Now it's going to come in a couple of minutes, so we like to get in a little early, say hello to our lovely guests, and we've got some lovely guests right below me, new to the show, and we'll be definitely looking forward to him coming back, is young Dom. What a rice.
Good afternoon.
Rice.
Good morning.
What does that all mean, Dom? I've been meaning to ask you.
So, What Are Rice originally was one of my first sort of like pseudonyms online. Yeah. And it came from when my brother and I played Gears of War 1 together, co-op.
Right.
Completed the game, and in the credits, all of the developers had like a little line to themselves. And one of them just said, "What are rice?" And then I just thought,
love it.
That's
love
it.
it.
And I picked
it's
it.
Like
and
a cat meme.
Yeah, it was just something completely random, and I just thought that's a cool name, and I've just been using that ever since.
That is
but on Stadia, I've been just Dominic.
Yes.
So I tried to be edgy and cool, but someone already took Dom. Damn you, whoever you are.
Exactly. Nobody knows what are rice.
No, exactly.
Particularly from places what grow it. And then up in the top corner there, why, bless me, what's going on in the background? It's not only Aaron, but it's Stadia Vet Gamer. What have you got going on in the background there? Where is that then?
I was out in space with fighting some rebels in the Alliance, so yes. I just had to make it for the show, so I couldn't leave the shop.
Took a screenshot.
So it's kind of a mess back there.
What's a bit of a Star Wars thing? Because young Dom's got a stormtrooper going on down there, and a very sexy looking, kind of black noir stormtrooper.
It's actually a local artist that I bought this from.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, he dressed up in it?
Nice.
They did a competition. They did a competition on Twitter. I think it was Lee from GSN that retweeted it, and then I caught on and then spoke to him and everything. He's a really nice guy. Does like loads of Star Wars art.
Wow.
I'll link him on my Twitter.
Yeah, that's
gorgeous.
He's really good.
Cool. Yeah, very nice. But look, poor John. He's down there in the corner. 1K subs, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling like, do you know who I am? Woo! Come and talk to me.
And I've got my spinny hat on, right?
Yeah, look at that. He's got his helipad going on and everything now. He's up with the knobs.
Yeah.
How are you, John? Well done. Congratulations on your 1K, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing good. I early this morning I completed Resident Evil Village. So
you finished it?
Yeah, fantastic. I found it to be the second half of the game seems to be different than the first. It's more overall. I kind of found it is like it isn't as like scary as 7 I would say. But it's a weird. It's kind of like what is it? Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares. Yeah, Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, it's kind of like Little Nightmares too, where it's more creepy than it is scary. I mean, there were a couple
moments.
Yeah, there were a couple of times where I kind of went like, jumped a bit because it startled me when there was, something there. But for the most part, fantastic story. So
I have got as far as trying to. I don't want to give any spoilers away. There are 4 statues, but I'm going to. There are 4 statues, and you've got to put a face on each one.
Yep.
I found a 4th one, and every time I take it off, the door locks, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like a roguelike. I don't want to have to keep taking the door down, so I don't know. But I'm loving it. I think it's really good. Yeah,
it's a fun game. Yeah,
it is good. What time we got? 4:58. So we got a couple of minutes, which is good because I wanted to say hello to a bunch of lovely folk in the chat. First and foremost,
that chat's going crazy.
Friend, Mr. Gibbons. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Michael, you are an absolute legend. By the way, Mr. Gibbons, we must get a group team together and do the new Vault of Glass, my friend, in honor of when we did the old Vault of Glass. Because we must. That's all I can say. Yeah, we've got some amazing people in the chat today. We've got, let me have a quick look. You know what I like to do? Little pro tip here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at the participants in YouTube Studio. It's much easier. Blake Stadia, Dominic, in lead, Cumna Meg. Meg's joining us. Hello, Meg. Mike Gibbons, Paul Barham, Ray Sherrod, Porter, John D too. Nice to see you, my friend. And ex-Predatored. Beautiful. Stadia Mania, Cloud Gaming Dad. Yeah, we got a fantastic lineup today. There's a panel and a half just there.
I can't even keep track of everything. Chat's just going crazy.
I'll tell you what, before we go to the This Week on Stadia, because it hasn't actually updated yet, I've got to tell you, I love to binge watch stuff on Netflix. Who doesn't? But I tend to find I'm watching stuff that's really old. And I found this show, which is like 6 years old, and I can't get enough of it. You're bound to have seen it. The Last Kingdom, it's called. Have you seen that one on Netflix? No, clearly not. There you go.
No,
Get your pencils out, boys. Make a note. The Last Kingdom. So it's a Vikings versus Saxons thing, and it's kind of based very loosely on historical facts. So the main character did exist. It's all kind of it's great. It's actually really good. It's like Game of Thrones without the Winkies. Do you have Winkies in Canada, John? I'm sure you do.
Winkies?
Down at seafood shops, you can buy
Winkies? No.
You don't have
What
a
are Winkies?
pot of Winkies? Yes.
No.
Do they have Twinkies?
Yeah, Twinkies. Yeah, Twinkies.
Oh, is that just another? It's just another way of saying it? Because I was.
I don't know what Rokk's on
I was
about.
a bit confused.
I don't know what he's on about. He's on his own on this one.
There's folks in the chat that very much know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's early shows.
You can stick to your
Oh,
Winkies.
I
goodness.
can't be going down the Winkies route, not yet anyway. Way too early. We are 5:01.
Oh.
We have no update as yet, which is a bit annoying. But don't worry. As soon as it arrives, we'll go there.
I think they do that on purpose.
They do. I think
swear,
they know by now.
I feel like they do that on purpose. I think they know so many people look for this on Tuesdays. So they're like, let's just wait a few more minutes. Let's just see how long we can get them to get irritated.
They do. I think they do. I think they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. This is true, actually. So Ray interviewed a guy who plays Magnus, who, as a character, hasn't come into it for me yet. I'm only about 2 episodes into the second season. But I have to say, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, first season, right at the end, it was like, oh, wow. It's one of the best shows I've watched in ages. So, yes, very good. Oh, look, Lavelle pops in every week to tell me that I've got a soothing voice. Bless him. I don't mind. Blake says he has no idea what I'm talking about as far as Winkies are concerned. I bet you flipping well do. I'm sure he does. Let's hit the.
I think I made a comment at one point. I was like, "We need Rokk's bedtime stories because you'd make a killing there."
That would be awesome. Yeah.
I did do one at Christmas. Actually, I did. It was the night before Christmas, and it was so cute because Lee sent me a photo of his kids listening to it before they went to bed on Christmas Eve, and I have to say,
oh, that's awesome.
Brought a little tear to my eye. I thought it's so sweet to be involved in such a massive day for kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what? We got nothing on. We got nothing on here. Damn them all to hell. Damn you apes to hell. Yeah, and you know what? Clive makes a good point. I am asleep before anybody's bedtime. That's true. My body clock is. I think I need new batteries in my body clock. It's I think they've expired. He makes a good point. I mean, we may not get one. It's not. It won't be the first time. Of course, what's happened in the past with this week on?
There is some stuff in the store.
Yeah,
Yep.
is there?
I just got a PR email too about a game available.
I was going to say.
I feel left out. I never get PR emails.
No.
I want PR emails.
I know. I don't get PR anything, mate. No, they usually they tie it in with some event or other, don't they? If it's going to be late, it's because they've decided there's a big announcement for a game or something else.
I want them to make a big announcement about that they're going to be at Google I/O and they're going to drop a major announcement or something. I would love them to just be like, "Hey, we're coming to Google I/O again. We're going to blow your minds away with this big news or something cool." But
yeah, that'll be it.
that won't ever happen.
Actually, that's coming up on the 16th, isn't it? The I/O.
I believe.
yes.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah.
Is it the 16th? Yeah.
So
I
the
think
10th. I thought no. What am I talking
Can't
about?
be
10th
no.
was
Yesterday
yesterday.
was the 10th. Yeah, I've got it. I'm fairly sure.
18th. 18th.
18th.
18th.
Right.
18th.
Okay. Cool.
There you go.
Which is still soon, isn't it? Because it's the 11th, so it's about a week away.
Yeah, a week today.
Yeah. Right. What have we got new then, chaps, that you spied in the store?
I keep scrolling. There it is.
Street
Ooh.
Power Football. Yeah.
Street Power
Jen
Football.
actually mentioned this earlier on.
Stadia, seriously, I can't afford to keep buying games.
Can't
And
afford to
support
keep
all my
giving them
content
away, mate.
creators. I know, right? Can't you just give them to me?
Just
Yeah.
a word with John. He's got a massive warehouse full of them.
Well, I have content creators I got to support on top of buying all these games that Stadia keeps that I want.
So, as far as
Legend
new is, just Street Power Football then, is it, Dom, in this little pile?
Yeah, that's all I could see.
I think it's the only new one. I mean, we knew it was coming at some point. It was certainly promoted in the past.
Oh man,
That was cleared by Peggy and so on. It's
this is like
it's what it is.
street soccer, basically.
Street soccer. Yeah, exactly.
That's what. Yeah,
Exactly that.
That's what-
multiple challenges. I believe
I would
it's
actually play this. It looked fun.
It reminds me of
Yeah,
the
it
old
actually
FIFA
does.
Street games.
Yes.
If anyone played them.
Yep.
So the years ago,
Yeah.
FIFA used to do like a street football one with.
Yes, I do. Yep, I remember those.
Which they've now kind of integrated into it with
Right.
Volta, I think it's called in the new game.
And what's great about these is because it'll pull those people in that aren't the hardcore fans of that
Two-player
sport.
local,
You know, if
two-player
they have
online.
a general interest, you know, these games are great for that.
And it's
So
got competitive
arcade-like.
mode. Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
have a look at those.
Yeah.
Alan. Really
Yeah.
good.
Two-player local, two-player online, two-player local co-op, two-player online co-op, and I see a competitive.
Yep. Create your own character.
And the chat is like blowing up with. Apparently, there's been other stuff that I noticed that we're. Yeah,
Well, we yeah.
I
so we
like
can't-
competitive games, and soccer games are fun. Like I try FIFA, but I'm not very good at that. I feel like me personally, I do better at the arcade sports games than I do like street. When NFL had NFL Street, I was good at that. Soccer, an arcade soccer, I feel like I would probably have more fun at than full blown FIFA.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah. So you're right. We've got some interesting news that's been reported to us by our roving reporters in the chat. They're out
Giving away all the spoiler alerts.
They are. They're out on the streets, yeah, giving us the update. Rainbow Six and For Honor coming to Stadia. Now I've seen this come from multiple sources, so I think this is a fairly validated story.
It seems to be in their earnings report.
Okay.
That in the title release schedule for the first quarter for April to June, we will have For Honor, Rainbow Six Siege, and Uno 50th anniversary coming to Stadia.
Interesting. Well, and we've kind of had an idea that Rainbow Six was going to come to the platform. Well, I guess we've kind of hoped it was.
Well, it got
Not
rated months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like last year sometime.
I don't even know if I listen to the ratings board anymore because there's games still on there that we still have never seen the light of day, let alone heard from. That's Mafia.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's difficult because they obviously sometimes we've seen them stealth drop and the ratings go up on the same day.
They're very sneaky with that sometimes, which I kind of like that though. I kind of like getting thrown off when they do those sneaky little stealth drops in there. But I do know that I did read something because I saw Blake said there was a Crew 2 trailer on the Stadia YouTube, and I remember hearing something that they were adding some new features to the Crew 2 that I don't know how long, if it was, I don't remember. I didn't read all of the details on it, but I did hear that, read something yesterday briefly that they were going to be adding some new stuff.
It's very good. I mean, look, Rainbow Six is huge, as you know. We desperately need a kind of multiplayer esportsy type
Yep.
game. Duncan needs credit, by the way. He's getting upset with me. Duncan saw this first. Everybody, stop pretending it was you. Dear old Duncan. I didn't see it anywhere else. I'm sorry. Dirt 5, that's also in there. Now, the thing is as well, on Stadia Source, which I happen to have up here.
I thought Dirt 5 had just come out, and I realized after I'm looking at it and getting all like hyped up for this, I realized it was literally just the year one edition. So I was like, oh,
Yes.
So Dirt 5, because I said something, I think I told Ray that, and he's like, I've seen people playing this before. Are you okay? And I'm like, I swear it says it's new. It was just he's like, and then he goes, look, it's just the year one edition. I was like, oh, well, thanks for bursting my bubble. I was all excited for something.
It is. There is something new though. Cross-platform matchmaking. Oh, this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I have to drink yellow tea. Cross-platform matchmaking coming to Dirt 5. Any cross-platform news is welcome news, as we all know.
Yeah, that's any news is good news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any game that's cross-platform.
I hope that obviously Rainbow Six Siege will be cross-platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be.
If they didn't, I would just be that'd be a total like.
Well, Ubisoft are
you
committed
doing?
to cross-play between other games, haven't they? So you'd think that.
And that's awesome what Rokk mentioned too about Rainbow Six and esports. We already know we've got 2 Stadia esports teams out there, playing Killer Queen Black.
Yep.
Here's another game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be ridiculous at this point in time to bring any sizable game to Stadia that doesn't have cross-platform.
Right.
So yeah, that was a good question actually. I know Outriders was supposed to be cross-platform. Did they introduce that with the latest patch?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't got it, but from what I've heard, it's still not crossplay.
Ouch.
It seems Stadia seems to be on some whole different patch schedule compared to the other platforms.
Yeah. That's
I don't
a
know.
real shame because it genuinely needs that.
Well, Ubisoft, I think, does a really good job with anything that they bring to Stadia, to the table for Stadia. They have a really good relationship, I think, with Google and the games that they're bringing over.
Well, on the same earnings report, every single game on there, apart from one which is PC only, is coming to Stadia. So all the schedule, the extra DLC like Watchdog Legions, the Division 2 Season 6, Valhalla updates, everything all has Stadia next to it.
I'm waiting for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 3 are the two. 3 and 4 are the ones that I'm waiting to hit Stadia because those are the ones I really like playing. I just like to be a pirate and just kill people with swords. So
I would never think that of you, Aaron.
Right. Nobody would.
He's loving his plunder. No, the thing is I'm still desperately waiting for Ubisoft Plus to arrive. Now I know that you can, if you cancel and then reorder, you can use a VPN to sign up in the States and so on. But I kind of want it the legit way,
Yeah.
Plus, they just took my money for the next quarter, or whatever it is. So I've got to wait for it now anyway.
I think that'll be massive when that does come to the UK. That'll be a massive win for Stadia in general. Just with all of for people that maybe don't want to buy hadn't thought about buying some of these other games, or the add-ons that you get all of the extra stuff that comes with those games. I think that'll be a massive win for Stadia in general.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you could just do it month to month. So if you only want to subscribe for a month, pay that money and play whatever you want for that whole month. It's well worth it. You definitely get your money's worth.
Well, yeah, there are people out there that literally will play a game, beat it in a couple of days, and so it makes sense if you can pay monthly, get access to a game that you probably wouldn't buy, but then you beat it, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Right.
It's just like what we used to do growing up as kids. We'd rent games, right? Rent a game for a weekend. Play it every weekend. You'd rent it 2 or 3 days. So essentially, that's what Ubisoft Plus is like. It's it's just a rental service.
Yeah, it's a rental service for the new age.
Yeah, it's great.
Uno's 50 years old now. That's I'm just looking at that. I'm just like, Uno's 50 years old.
I know, but it's younger than me, mate. Do you know how that feels?
I wasn't implying it that way.
So look, credit
It's
where
not
credit's
how
due, because Duncan absolutely did break this first. What we have is, as he said rightly, an investors call today, within which, as we can see down here, you're right, the 50th anniversary of Uno. Good old Uno. But Stadia showing up here for Wrath of the Druids, which obviously is the new XP, new DLC, beg your pudding. Stadia for For Honor, Year 5, Season 2. Stadia for we know about Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, and there it is, Siege Year 6, Season 2. Well, presumably we're in Season 1 at the moment then of Year 6 for Rainbow Six.
I haven't played it in a little while, so I cannot tell you how long the seasons last.
Yeah.
Yes, Clive says he thinks chess is younger than Rokk. It's a fair shout. And the truth of it is that although Clive and I were both born in the same year, he's still younger. Fate has the last dice throw. Yeah. Division Season 6. So there's at least news that's coming to Stadia, which is awesome. Unless we're already in it, in which case, thank you. Uno's 50th anniversary. I'm going to have to get out of my head now. Stadia.
What can they do differently for a 50th anniversary game, though?
That's what I was
As Uno,
I'm trying to figure that out, because one would think that you didn't even have to update the game. You could just do like a updated DLC card image. DLC.
There might be some cakes and balloons in the background.
I'll tell you what it is. Every time you turn over a card, it forgets itself. Because that's kind of how it works for me. What did you say?
They could package it in with Old Maid or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, me and the wife.
Yeah.
But basically, all of this stuff is saying Stadia, which is apart from Anno.
I know. I like that though. That I like to see companies and you can see Stadia on the page. It is nice. They show PlayStation 5. And then right afterwards, like Rainbow Six, it's got PS4, PlayStation 5, and then Stadia is ahead. I just like the fact that Stadia is ahead of Xbox.
but also, I mean, Luna's missing. Luna's missing. Luna don't get the 50th anniversary. Bless her.
Oh, well, they get 2 games. They're on there for 3, 4. Yeah, they're on there for a bit. They just get most. They just don't get.
Poor old Luna. That's got to be coming soon as well, surely. But thank you for that, Duncan. See, what Duncan does, which I think is great, is he pulls over things like this. Things like job requirements and requests on LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff, which is brilliant for finding all these little nuggets of information. Of course, we've seen before where they don't turn up, but it's highly unlikely in this case, given the relationship with Ubisoft and Stadia.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'll just have a quick look back. I don't think we're going to see I don't think we're going to see one today. That's okay. We've had that before. We can go through. Well, this is an amazing piece of news anyway. Certainly. We'll probably see this pop up in an hour or so. Not necessarily this, because I think this will largely depend when the Season 2s come out. I suppose. Could one of you guys just have a quick look and see when Season 2 of Rainbow Six is due for release? Because that's going to be the tell on when we're likely to see it, assuming day and date, but it probably will be.
It says June 2020.
June?
That's what it says.
But that's year 5 is that. Yeah, I pulled the same thing. I was looking. I was like, yeah, I saw that too. I don't know if they've Rainbow Six Year 6 Season 2 leaks. I don't know if they've released anything about it yet.
I don't think there's an official.
It says around June.
Around June. It could arrive in July, but if that's the case, we'd still expect a test server a month prior. So they haven't really. And this was an article I pulled up April 8th of 2021. So they haven't really got anything. They don't even have an idea of the title of the new season yet. So there just may not be very much at all.
I really hope that will also be a signifier, for when they release Ubisoft Plus to the wider world as well. because it'd be a real shame if that's limited to just the States. But at least you get to play with people on Amazon Luna, which is a bonus for you guys. Very nice. But yeah, so that's awesome news. Not my game, not my cup of tea, I don't think. Although I know it's huge. What's the other one? Rogue. What's the
Rogue
other?
Company.
Rogue Company.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still doing good stuff, Dom, or is that sort of faded out a tad?
It's not. I've never played it. I generally stick to the more realistic things. So like that's why I did enjoy Siege. And I think Siege is a great game. But the skill level in Siege can be daunting because as a new, like someone who's played it for hundreds of hours, the difference in someone who's new is ginormous. And For Honor will be an interesting one as well.
Yes, I played For Honor a little bit, but again, that's another one, multiplayer.
So it's
hack and slash.
Well, it's like a sword fighting. But it's all about timing and blocking and feigning, and it's a good game, but that's died off quite a bit recently. It's nowhere near what it was when it launched.
But we have got Far Cry 6. Is it 6 or 5 coming up?
6.
That's coming up next month as well, isn't it? I think.
I believe so.
I know it was. They put it back a couple of times, didn't they? It would be. I hope they don't release it all in June, because they did this back in December with Watch Dogs and Valhalla and Phoenix, and everything kind of came out at the same time. And actually, what they need to do as a gaming as a service is to stagger these things so that when you've finished your Watch Dogs or you finish your Valhalla, you know that coming up in a few weeks is Phoenix Rising or what have you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard when they drop. If you get like multiple games at the same time, it's like, oh shoot, what do I do now? Because I want to play all of them, but I also like to. And then, because by the time you can beat all three of them, if they all come out at the same time, then you're like, they bring something else out as well, and then I'm just like, I don't have time. I can't keep up with this.
This is the problem.
And then the backlog is the backlog starts, and that's like then it's like just keeps piling up.
Yeah. It's going to come, but that's awesome news. I think both of those are great games, great additions to the platform. I'm sure they've both been ready to go live for some time, and they've just been waiting to coincide it with a release of an update or some DLC or something, or Ubisoft Plus to a wider audience. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. I can confirm that we still don't have a This Week on Stadia. But I've kind of given up on that one now. Anyway, Cloudy with the Chance of Gamings, thank you very much indeed for finding that, and for Duncan to tipping me off in the old DM. I just got a tweet saying we've got some news, and I'm like waiting for it to come up in my DM. It's like, no, maybe he's given up on that idea. Meanwhile, everyone in the chat's going, "Look what's going on!" And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? But that's all good. Now then, what else have we got? It's at this moment, because it's very early in the week, we don't have a huge amount of news. There's stuff like you mentioned earlier, John. You've completed the village. I'm loving it as well. How many hours did you put in to get to the end?
It was roughly 12, close to 12.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think 7 took me about 13, so they're in similar ballpark.
Yeah, and I saw some people, they've finished it in 7.5 hours, 8 hours. I don't know how, but no, I finished it early this morning here, and I was just like, and I looked at it after I finished it. And what's good is for those people that like the achievements, when you're finished, there's these, I guess, I don't know, I forget what they're called. They're not achievements, but they're in-game challenges, and you will earn currency for doing these certain challenges to unlock even more, like different weapons in the games or things like that. So for those people that like the achievements, is to go back and beat it on ultra hard or whatever it is, and all these different things. So it's got some replay value there as well.
Have you seen Review? I think it's Review. The companion game for it that came out at the same time, but not yet. So I think it's coming to Stadia though.
Yeah, it's ReVerse is supposed to be
Reverse. That was the
Yeah. There
50th
you go.
folks. Remember?
That's
Memory of a goldfish.
Oh,
supposed to be in the summer. Is when it was delayed until was it June or July, something like that? Yeah.
Have you seen? It's a multiplayer version, isn't it? I think like a PvP thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, no, I haven't. Other than what they've released about it,
They just said summer 2021.
Yeah.
So sometime this summer.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like a deathmatchy kind of PvP shooter thing. Yeah.
Not a battle royale.
No, it's definitely not a battle royale.
Please let
what,
that
Rokk? You don't
era
like
be
you,
over.
you don't like, but you don't want more battle royales.
Oh no, I really don't. I don't. Not
Sorry,
for me.
I read a comment. Alex posted a comment and said his eyes are super bad and thought John had one of those helicopter hats on you see on TV.
We said
Alex, I love
exactly
you,
the
buddy.
same thing before we went online. It was even better then, Alex, because it was spinning around.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. We said it was like it's gone back to the 50s, to those old Disney.
Oh,
There we go,
man.
right?
There he is. Look.
There we go.
It only spins when I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. What it's doing is it's speeding up subscribers. It's got like a subscriber engine upstairs. And
Yeah,
when this is going, it speeds up the subs.
We weren't trying to call you out or anything. I just couldn't help myself with that comment. It was great.
No, that was good. That was good.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
Poor old fella.
Yeah.
The fun we have here.
Yeah.
We do have fun. We have even more fun when we don't get it this week on Stadia.
I know. Isn't that how it works?
So, Dom, what have you been playing with lately? Game-wise.
I actually
Not
cancelled
Winky.
my. I actually cancelled my Resident Evil pre-order.
Did you?
Because I did. Like, I have no doubt it's a good game, and I have no doubt that 7 was a good game. I played 7 for like a couple of hours,
Yeah.
but I like the gameplay, but I don't like having to look in every nook and cranny for a specific bolt that fits this, or this key that only goes in this thing, but if you touch this, then this close. I don't like that. Like, I like the shooting and the action bits and the story. And it was when I was playing it, and then I had to find something in a specific bathtub, and I had to empty the bathtub or something, which I didn't know, and I had to Google it, and I was like, this isn't for me. Plus, I didn't actually need another Premiere Edition because I still have 3 in the cupboard doing nothing.
It's like a puzzle game almost in essence, and I hate puzzle games, and I've said this in my streams. I'm just like, whoever invented puzzle games, I want to ask why. Why is that a thing? Because it's like I loved Immortal Phoenix until I realized it was puzzles.
I like puzzle games. John likes puzzle games.
Well, it's an even split here, 50-50. I'm hoping Tom's not a big puzzle fan.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's actually the puzzle side of it that I really like. And it was only, I didn't realize, because I sort of played a bit of Res 7 when I had it on VR. And I just thought it was Run Away from Scary Creatures. But when I played and completed the whole thing and realized it was actually all about puzzles, with a really good payoff of an excellent story at the end, which you don't know until you get much closer to the end. And I'm assuming Res 8 will be in a similar boat. But at this moment in time, I am actually stuck on a puzzle, and that annoys me. So I might just go back to shooting things.
I do like. Sorry, Bet, but I do like puzzle
That's
games.
okay.
Because
That's okay.
I have such fond memories of when I was really young playing Myst and Riven with my dad.
Oh, the best.
And they are
I did.
Yeah.
I remember Myst.
the daddies of puzzle games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love those games, but I know what I'm playing with that because it's just puzzles. Like, there's no, I'm not having to aim a gun and shoot things.
Super Monkey Island.
Exactly, like those
Puzzle
games are
game.
cool. Whereas, like with Resident Evil, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm shooting, and then I'm like, oh, now I've got to look for this key.
I think that's what it is. Like, if it was a straight like a Myst or something like that, I could handle that. But I get excited for the shooting part, and then it's like, now we're gonna break, and you're gonna have to try to figure stuff out. And that's like, I don't want to have to go from getting all hyped up because I get to shoot dead people or something, and then I have to calm myself down and try to think. That it doesn't work that way for me.
That's exactly the same.
No,
But
fair.
I've just been playing a ton of Dead by Daylight again recently. I've got back into it, so it's my addiction.
I just realised I've had the old chat panel on the side here, and it hasn't actually been coming out on the video. So if you've been wondering why there's a great big grey space to the right-hand side, don't blame me. Blame Restream. I'll just get rid of it. Oh, what? And there we were saying how fantastic it was. No, it's I don't mind the puzzly stuff until I get really frustrated with it, and then I can't be bothered. But I played a game with my daughter on I think it was on Xbox Game Pass about a month ago, which was really good, which I know is coming to Stadia, and I've forgotten what it's called, as you would expect. So anyway, the fact that I played a nice game with my daughter is all you need to know.
Well, that's like I was playing Watch Dogs 2 last night, and I got to a point where it was you have to turn stuff to link all of the hacking up. To me, that it's just a puzzle. But I got so frustrated with it, I came real close to rage quitting again, and then I all of a sudden, and I was like, I hate this game. This is the worst game ever. And then I beat it, and I was like, oh, I love this game. I figured it out, and then it was the greatest game ever.
I have to say though, I'm glad you guys do complete games, because the thing that I always find quite sad is I see people in the community who buy that game and buy that game and buy that game, and they just collect these games, but they play maybe half an hour, a couple of hours at them, and yet.
Well, I played Watch Dog Legion, and I stopped for a while because I got to a point where I started playing other games in my Stadia catalog. But then I went back and I gave Watch Dog Legion another try, and I've had a lot of fun. I'm stuck at one spot again, so I've taken a break. But I feel like for me, it works like if I take a break from the game and then I go back, I end up beating it somehow.
Yeah.
You've got to do that, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I found that too. It's like if you get frustrated or you just find that you're so stuck in a part, just walk away, go away for a couple hours, or the next day come back, and then usually it's like, oh well, why didn't I do this? This is how you do it. Here, and here, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And Dom, how have you been getting on with Death by Daylight? Because that's your most known online game.
I was playing it this morning. I've hit rank 1 again, which isn't like the top player; it's the top rank you can achieve.
Oh, okay.
On
Nice.
Survivor. All through Stadia. So yes, you can play PvP games on Stadia, contrary to what many people say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a game that I've played for like a couple of years now. It's its 5th anniversary this year.
Is it?
I think I've had it for about 3 or 4 years of that time. It's changed a lot since then. It's got a huge dev team now. Like they're constantly putting in new killers and everything. Which I think the next DLC is actually a Resident Evil DLC. Which they announced, which should be coming at about July time.
Well, there's so much. I mean, there's so many characters that they can pull in.
Yeah, I mean, originally it was all their own original characters and killers, and then they started getting more and more licensing things. So, like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Ghostface from Scream, Pyramid Head. They've got loads now, and they're all played differently, which is nice. So there's a bit of everything for everyone, and the DLC is always on sale. Like you can pick them up for if you want to try Michael Myers or whatever. He's a couple of bucks.
Oh wow!
And then you can
I
play.
was actually trying to find Destiny 2 because today is the launch of the new season for Destiny 2.
I think. Isn't it? Check the sales there. I'm pretty sure they have Destiny 2 sales are up.
Somebody definitely said that was the case. So here you go. So
there you go. Yeah.
Beyond Light Deluxe Edition, but we've just come out of the Beyond Light season though, haven't we? So if you buy that, that's all cool, but you're sort of out of date slightly. They do have here Beyond Light plus 1 season. So that would be, I don't know, what would be the difference then between Beyond Light Deluxe? Maybe Deluxe Edition includes a chunk of seasons as well. Let's have a quick look. That's just a bunch of old emojis and emotes and things.
Upgrade packs and stuff nobody uses.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure there are people that use the stuff.
weapon
Yeah,
tag.
I always look at that. Yeah, I always look at that too. Like, all right, what's the difference between this game and this game? And then I'm like, okay, well, this one gives me stuff that I want. But then I also have this weird problem where Ubisoft will put all of their games on sale, and even though I pay a monthly subscription for Ubisoft Plus, I still go on Stadia and I buy the game outright. It's on sale, and then everyone's like, "Why do you buy it if you already have X?" I said, "Because it's like I can't pass up the sale. What if I don't want to keep Ubisoft Plus at some point? Then I have the game."
See, I got stung a little bit myself this week, Aaron, because even though I'm 54, I still fall foul of the old FOMO. It has to be said. It isn't a curse of the younger folk. At any age, FOMO can strike you down in the street. It's a crippling, debilitating disease, FOMO.
It is.
So there I was watching everybody play in the village, thinking, I don't know, I can wait. I've spent so much money that no, it's not happening. Oh, I need it. I'm missing out. So I thought I'd be clever, and I bought it on PC. I bought it on Steam, and to be fair, it was 20 pounds cheaper than Stadia. But I spent 2 days getting it to work. And then I sat there thinking, how much is your time worth, pal? I mean, why didn't you just buy it on Stadia and you'd have been finished by now? You'd have been like John gloating about finishing it in 12 hours. Instead, you took 12 hours to get it to work. Oh, tell you. I even went out and bought a new gaming PC. I shouldn't say this, it's true though. It's coming in a couple of weeks. I thought, I need one of them 3 series cards. That's what I need.
New gaming PC like a year ago.
So I saved 20 quid buying it on Stadia, and then I spent £2,500 on a new gaming PC.
Just for one game.
Yeah, I FOMO, mate. I can't be doing with it. I want to be like the cool kids.
Well, I mean, I did too. I spent I set a budget when I bought my new computer. I had a budget. I was like, all right, I'm walking into Best Buy. I said, I'm only going to spend like 1,100's the max. And then when I left, I spent like $1,800, and I was like, I don't know what happened. I had my budget. I don't know what happened.
Because when you get there, you're like, oh yeah, I want this. Oh, I never knew they had that. Let's do that.
I know. Yeah, I know. That was the problem. And then my eyes wander, and I'm just like, the technology kid in me is just like drooling. And then I'm like, they're like, well, would you like anything else? How about a nice new TV? And I'm like, my wife will kill me. I said, I may as well live here then, because if I go home, that's what they would say.
Sometimes I'll rationalize it like, well, I'm already spending $1,300. What's $100 more, right?
Exactly.
In the grand scheme of things.
Well, it's like, I know, I bought it for like 16, and they're like, well, do you want the warranty? I was like, well, how much is it? Yeah, listen, I'm already like $500 over the budget that I set for myself. Just add the 3-year warranty. What's another $300 or $400?
Well, I've got my 2060 card, and that can be my encoding machine. You see,
there you go. Yeah,
so I've got the 3080, so that do all the games and stuff. Slap in one of those Elgato cards, so I can feed it in, and then I can encode and put my stuff over the top. I'm going to be, mate. I tell you, I'm going to be like Billy 2 PCs. You're going to love it.
You're going to be one of them fancy streamers.
I'm going to be like fancy streamer, son.
You're going to be the next ninja.
It's going to be me. Yeah, Dr. No Respect. That's going to be me. I got no respect for them doctors. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, we got. This is what happens. This is what happens, folks, when them bleeding Googles don't drop TWOSes.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, there you go. Last weekend and Village Idiot. That's what I am. 20 quid saved, £2,500 spent.
And Dom, this happens every week, Dom. This is a show theme.
Yes. So
it's
Dom,
like, what did I sign up for?
I'm not sure I'm drunk enough yet.
We're just high on life, my friend.
That's right. Yeah.
That's all it is. Well, we're celebrating because John has broken through the 1K sub. So now he is a man of means, and he's ordered his new Jaguar and his spare Bentley. So And Aaron, as you can see, ordered a spaceship when he broke the 1K.
Yep.
He's been sitting in it there, enjoying himself.
Yep.
Dom aspires to it with his little black and white picture of a stormtrooper.
I think
got a ways to go.
My 28 subscribers got me that. Yeah.
So Dom,
Hold up. There we go.
what? What's
I changed my background.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
That's very studious. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to feel. I wanted.
Yeah.
That's like a scene out of The Village. Look at it, look.
I know, right?
Isn't it?
My
Resident
19.
Evil Village.
Well, I had some extra money after I bought the laptop. I said, let's buy a 19th century home too to go with it.
Wow. That's a thing of beauty, my friend. Absolutely. And then as we know, we've got whirly birds over here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What's that on the top of that? What's on the top of the white cabinet over there, John? It's like a
That's actually that's actually a fan.
oh, what? Oh, a fan, is it? Ah,
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
see
yeah,
it
there's
now.
a fan
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Look, a couple of legs. I was trying to work it out. Wow.
Oh Lord.
We've got it all going on, and we might as well. And Dom's got his little pocket heater there, look, keeping himself warm.
Yeah. Keep them hands warm.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's very nice.
Love
Is
it.
that hand drawn then, Dom, that stormtrooper?
Painted.
Is it?
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah, bring it up to the camera. Let's have a proper. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Very nice.
Is it a print or is it a piece of artwork?
I think it's a print.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Very nice. Was it black and white initially, or did you buy the cheap version?
It was always black and white.
You paid more for
I'm not going to
that.
get it straight now, am I? There we go.
Oh, bless you. I don't have a picture to show off. Well, I do actually. You can see there's
Yeah.
on the wall here. I've got these two. My daughters did, bless them. All the stuff on that wall is all pictures that my young ladies have done for me. So there's obviously a Rokk one there, and then they've got one which is really cute. It's a little painting of me with the Stadia logo as well, which I love. So yeah, they're things of beauty. Dom, what have you been playing this week then, apart from Death by Chocolate, whatever it's called?
Do you know what? I actually tried also Hotline Miami 2, which is impossibly hard, or I'm just terrible at it. I understand the premise, but I'm just awful at it. I don't get it.
Yeah, because it is meant to be really hard, isn't it?
Is it meant to be really hard?
Yeah, you meant it's not only is it like an 8-bit pixel thing, but you've got literally pixels worth of, to get everything done. You've got to work it all out, and it's
Well, yeah,
more
and
than
like
Eli
you walk
game.
into a room and there's about 1 billion people with shotguns trying to shoot you,
it's not
and
for
you've
me.
got to dodge, duck, dip, and dive and dodge.
Yeah. Funnily enough, it's very reminiscent of the time that I got lost in Miami. It was a very similar experience for me.
Was
I
it?
don't wish to do that again. I can assure you.
Everyone was shooting at you too.
Well, it was getting that way. I had to wave the little British flag. Stop! Don't shoot.
It does remind me of the original Grand Theft Auto, though, because that was the same top-down view, same
Was it?
kind of art style. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't played that in ages.
Wow.
And same sort of blood everywhere and gore of just 8-bit as much as it can be. Like it, yeah. So that's what it reminds me of.
Talking of GTA, there's some very strong rumours that it may be coming to Stadia. Have you guys picked these rumours up?
I happened to see an image that that was leaked out. That I don't know where, if somebody accidentally leaked it out, or whether or not it was, if there's any, if it's valid or not. But if somebody accidentally leaked it out and there's some truth behind it, they may not be employed very much longer. That may have been the oops to go to the unemployment line.
Wow. John,
But it'll be interesting. There's been so many rumors about that, different pieces all over the place about it, whether it's coming to Stadia or not. So I don't know.
I think that the latest thing was on the Amazon Prime gaming free stuff. It said and Stadia.
oh,
But
really?
I have the sneaking suspicion that's just there from Red Dead Online, and they use the same text because it's the same company.
Yes,
Yeah, that would.
I
that makes
not to
sense.
pee on anyone's bonfire, but we haven't had any other kind of inklings that it's coming. So I don't know.
Well, and I mean, if you think about it, most of the people that are hyping up, oh look, see, GTA is coming to Stadia. Those are the ones that want it to come. Those aren't, if you look at the ones that do all the news and look more into it, they can pick it out and be like, this might have just been a copy, and they just did the old copy and paste method and forgot to, check for errors.
Yeah. It's difficult. In we do tend to end up speculating, but I don't think it harms to speculate. I mean, Red Dead was an amazing port, as you guys know. So if Rockstar were to do a port of it, it would be quality.
Yeah,
I mean, it still sells, doesn't it?
It's a different engine. I think that's the reason why it's like they said. So someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I might be talking out my ass. But there was something to do with it doesn't run well on Vulkan, or doesn't run on Vulkan, so it need a complete different port. Whereas the Red Dead engine is compatible with Vulkan, and that was why it was easier to get to Stadia.
Gotcha.
Again, please, if I'm talking rubbish, someone correct me.
No, it sounds very
But
plausible.
there was something, because it's obviously quite an older game now. I mean, it's what, 8 years, 7 years, something like that old.
Like
it's
three
old.
generation. And that's what amazes me about Stadia. For a game that came out with like a PS3 era, we're like 3 generations behind, and it's still one of the most popular games out there, which amazes me.
A lot of that also. Go on, sorry, John. Come on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the GTA Online is huge, very, very popular, and
the biggest things. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No.
Stop it, Dom. I'm not having him on again, Aaron.
Just on GTA Online, like one of the biggest things is the mods, like
and the rockers.
There's a big streamer
there, folks. Nobody else will get that.
And it's all about the role playing stuff. Like there's a huge modding section, and of like where
you go to YouTube or you go to Twitch or even Facebook gaming. All of them, a lot of the ones when you search, just type in GTA 5. A good majority of them are all modded gameplay.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible to create an emulator that would allow them to run a Windows developed game under Vulkan without having to port it to Vulkan?
Oh, that would be interesting. I don't know how
easy. It's not meant to be a joke. I'll let you know when you can laugh, mate. I think that makes a heap of sense. What do you think, Aaron?
You mean like what Microsoft did with getting Linux kind of on Windows 10, where it's kind of like within a sandbox type thing, or whatever they call it these days.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if they were desperate, let's be honest about this, they would have to go to some extent. But there's nothing to stop them running a game on a Windows-based machine, streaming it to their Vulkan-based servers, and then banging it out to us. It's like fraction have to work on the latency, but all things are possible, aren't they? I'm just worried that they're going to get to a point where people are just going to say it's too much hassle. Like you were just saying, Dom. Look, GTA engine just doesn't work nicely with Vulkan.
But that was at a time when Vulkan wasn't nearly as big, and like Google have been pushing Vulkan aside from Stadia anyway themselves. So,
is it much bigger now, though?
I think it's bigger now than it was when GTA first launched.
Okay, fair point.
But you have to remember too, so they're going to re-release GTA for PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah,
and that's year. So I think they're reworking, because it's an old engine. So definitely they're reworking that engine to work on more modern hardware. And in the grand scheme of things, Stadia falls somewhere in between of better than PlayStation 4 Pro, but less than a PS5, right? So they have it working on PlayStation. They're going to be having it on 4. They're going to have it working on 5. So I guess it's all going to depend on if Google puts the money behind it. And to me, I would think that they would. If you're paying for the big titles like Resident Evil and things like that, why wouldn't you get GTA crossplay? And bam, that would bring a lot of players to Stadia.
Yeah,
I guess as well, it depends on I guess as well, it depends on whether or not they've got a GTA. I know. Look, I've seen screenshots of GTA 6, so I know they're thinking about it at the very least.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
guess as well, it depends how close are they to GTA 6. Is there any point in bringing it to Stadia if they're about to release it anyway?
I think GTA 6 is at least 2-3 years away.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
because
if
they're
I mean,
making
'cause-
oodles of money off of 5 still.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's
Well,
the,
and you look at what are the, I know, right? We're
Aaron,
all like,
shut up.
oh,
That was Dom's
yeah.
shout then.
go for it, Dom. I'll
no, I
mute
was
my-
just say, no.
At least he hasn't
Say-
got his whole family in today, Dom. Last week I had to keep pressing the mute button to shut him up.
It's the GTA 5 is the highest entertainment product of all time, like in terms of money. Yeah, like
Wow.
bigger than any film, anything.
Mhm.
Like it's made an absolute shed ton of money, and it still continues to do so. And the fact they're releasing it on PS5 and Xbox Series X, I don't think they're going to then release GTA 6 like a year later. I think there'll be a good period between.
Yep.
On Cloud Gaming Dad was just saying the Destiny servers down. They tend to take them down before they run the new seasons, don't they? So that doesn't mean that they've been DDoSed or anything. It just means that they're updating the hardware, and then they whack up because don't forget, for most people it's still a big download. So there's all that stuff going on, but not if you have it on Stadia. Yeah, no, I agree. I think how long was GTA 5? It was like 10 years in dev or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of
It was a
time.
long time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, even
And I'm
if they
looking at
started it,
Yeah.
Go on, John.
Sorry. No, I was going to say, I'm just looking at a report here saying that even last year, they sold 20 million copies of GTA 5. So
How many?
just last year,
20
20
million.
million. 20 million.
I'm pretty sure the last year was the first time GTA was on Steam, which might have contributed
that
to that
wouldn't-
because they for a while
Well-
it wasn't on Steam.
Do you think it would have helped the sales of that also with it being on Epic Game Store as well? Because that could have helped with the numbers. And they were giving at one point Epic Game had it on sale. They were giving it away for free. The premium edition was for free if you were able to get in there in time to get it before I think their servers crashed because everybody was trying to get a free copy of GTA 5.
Yeah. No, there's every likelihood that's the case. I mean, it is still, as you say, it's still a huge game. One of my favorite games. Of course, they brought it out as a sort of a remastered edition in first person, didn't they? On at least on PlayStation, I assume everywhere else as well. Although I found I couldn't play it in first person. I have to say, I as much as I'm a bit of an FPS fan, I couldn't. It just didn't work for me. Same with Red Dead, because you can play Red Dead in first person as well, can't you?
Yeah, I can't.
I can't. No, it just doesn't. I think
I
unless
like
they
to be able to
do
see
the
my.
game from the
I
start.
like to be able. Yeah, and GTA 5 is similar with Red Dead. I like to be able to. I know it's great. It's cool when you can do the first person, but I have to see my character as I'm doing stuff because otherwise, it makes it harder for me to play the game.
Yeah. No, I do. What's been your favourite game of the month then so far, John?
Well, I would have
That's a
to
big
say
question.
of May, I would say Resident Evil for me.
Village.
Yeah, Village. Yeah, for me,
'Cause you
I
did
really
you did
enjoyed
three
the
live
series.
three live shows with it, didn't you?
Yeah, at
Yeah.
launch. Yeah, I did at midnight, then at 1:00 in the afternoon later that day, and then at nighttime
Nice.
there. So yeah,
Did you
I was
finish the whole
beat up
game
to
in
it.
those 3 shows, or did
No,
you?
no. And actually, what was kind of which was funny was on my midnight stream, it ended up being like almost 3 hours, but I didn't plan on that. About halfway into it, an hour and a half or so in, I was like, okay, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Let me find a typewriter.
Oh yeah,
save,
that's
right?
the thing. Yeah.
I couldn't
no.
find a typewriter. I spent almost an hour and a half finding a typewriter.
Yeah.
And finally, I just said to someone, I said, can you look up to see if we can find, where one is? And you know what? It was right under my eyes. It was close. You know where you're having that problem where you got all those masks?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a room over to the left where the Duke is, and
The
there's a
big old
typewriter
fella.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. It was completely off my
Yeah,
radar.
that's
It
my
was there
go-to
the
as
whole
well.
time.
I want to finish the
Yeah.
game. Head for the big fella.
Yeah. So no,
It's,
it's fun.
because it will save if you have a big moment, like a cutscene or something. It will take you, or if you've killed one of the enemies. But yeah, it's the same thing. I've got to keep going back to the old typewriter. Otherwise it's a bit roguelike, isn't it? You suddenly go back and realize you've wiped hours of gameplay.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I'm not losing all this progress. I will keep playing until I can find a typewriter. And so we were talking about puzzles earlier in the game. There was, I think, for Resident Evil Village, they did a good job is not making them too difficult. For me, the puzzle I had, there was one puzzle I had the most trouble with, and I won't give any spoilers away. It's like not a jukebox, like a jewelry box where it's you open it up and you've got to put stuff in a certain order, and there's no hints whatsoever. It's a trial and error. So for me, that puzzle was like the most frustrating in the game. But other than that, it kind of seemed it seemed logical to me. And then there was one instance where you had to backtrack through a couple of, in one particular building, through a couple of floors to do something. And I think did a really good job is to keep the action flowing in this, and difficult.
I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it more than I thought I would do, in fairness, which is good, having spent $2,500 grand on it. So it's important to enjoy a game that much.
Yeah. You better enjoy it for 2,000 for over $2,000.
Don't tell my boss, because I'll put it on expenses, Aaron.
You didn't hear. I didn't hear anything.
No, as it happens, I am my boss, so it helps. But it's it's not what you want, really.
You better watch it. Your boss might fire you.
Yeah, it's not unknown. He keeps firing me. Yeah, Ryzak says it looks like you've moved to the big girl's house. It's it's very, very similar. You're absolutely right.
Well, I spend money on a laptop. I just figured they just added that into the purchase price. It was the mansion that go along with the game.
An extra $20 a month, right?
Yeah.
Google offered me the mansion if I buy the game, so I was like, well, I may as well.
Bless them.
I'm pretty sure some tech sites would say that's still not enough to get Stadia users in.
Yeah. No, we don't read those.
I can see it.
We don't read those. We leave them alone. They're just they're just like the kids that pull flies' wings off. You just ignore them. Play with other kids. That's what I say. So Don, what do you got planned this coming week, my friend?
Nothing really. I'm back. I do shift work, so I'm starting Thursday. So 13-hour days. So I don't really have a lot of time for gaming on those days. But I picked up one of these today. Brand new Samsung S21, wow. So I'm looking to use Stadia on that at work.
How many cameras do you need? Look at that.
How many does it have?
There's four cameras with a laser thing.
With a laser?
Freaking laser beam.
Mr. Bond.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
One last chance.
I was thinking was the sharks with freaking lasers from Austin Powers.
Sharks, or whatever.
I feel out of everybody shows off their Samsung phones with 4 or 5 cameras, lasers, and I just got my Pixel 5 with it's 2 cameras, and it worked for me though.
I just came from a 4XL Pixel, and I love the phone, but the battery life is just
I went from the Note 20 Ultra 5G to the Pixel 5, so I left Samsung to go back to Google. I leave Google products and I always come running back. So
see,
when they're offering stuff like this, I got to come back.
I went from the 2XL to the Note 8 or 9, and then to the 4XL, and now back to the S21.
Wow.
So I'll probably go to the Pixel 6 or 7 after.
Well, I hear they may be announcing the. One of the Pixels they may be announcing is a foldable phone at Google I/O. So you could get your first Google foldable phone.
It's also exciting because they're actually making, according to rumors, they're making their own chips for it as well. So
yes, for the Pixel 6, that's what I heard. They're going to be like Apple.
Yep. Which will just help the experience and make it more optimized and blah blah blah. And
then we'll still have people that'll be Samsung person.
I'm guessing John's an iOS.
No,
probably. No. He's got a
damn you to hell. Oh, what's that?
This is
Pixel.
the Pixel. Yeah, Pixel
was it?
5.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got one of those.
Yeah, I have a fancy case because I spent $40 on the case and $35 on the screen protector, which you can't see because it makes my phone invisible.
Oh, look at that. That's brilliant.
That is high quality technology when it can make your phone invisible, folks.
Wow.
You can get that at the Google store.
Wow. So I think, because when is the I/O? I/O 18th, did we say?
18th, yeah.
Yes,
I think it's
week today.
Yeah.
So that's when, hopefully as well, we may see some movement on Google TV updates for Stadia.
Well, they
think.
Sundar has teased that there'll be big announcements for hardware because they've been making some investments.
That's always a good sign.
So whatever that be, I don't know. But
the Google car.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody wants to do it now. Everybody wants to have a car. So, John, what are you up to? Sir John, what are you up to this week?
Well, other than writing my review for Resident Evil Village, I've got a developer interview on Thursday.
Yes.
Ooh.
With Jump Button Studio, Fragments, that came from the Game Jam. They were one of the three chosen out of the 10 to be backed by Stadia makers and to bring Fragments over to Stadia. So I'm going to be speaking with Michael there. He's the programmer at Jump Button Studio. And we'll get to learn a little bit about him, about the process of the Game Jam, what it's like, and, about the game, and just be fun.
That'll be really interesting. So that's this coming Thursday.
At 3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
Which is bedtime o'clock in England, I believe. So I will wish you luck and pick it up after.
Yeah, certainly.
You know that I will. So that'll be awesome. Looking forward to that. Congratulations again on breaking the old 1K sound barrier. Very good.
Thank you.
Aaron, my very good friend, what are you planning on? You're on every day anyway, and it's silly to ask you.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You just skip me.
Yeah. What days are you not on this coming week?
I've got big news. Today, at least, at 7 p.m. Central, I will be doing a co-stream with Megatron X. We'll be teaming up to play Red Dead Online. So I'm going to show her the way of how I play Red Dead Online, because most people, they do the missions, they take care of the animals, and then there's me. Where I just go in, guns blazing, like it's like the true Old West. And then the other big news is that Meg and I will be going against each other in a battle of Stadia Wits on Thursday on Ryzak's channel on Game Over.
Stadia Wits? What's that? What would that involve then?
Knowledge, all things. It's a game show, and it's you have to know things about Stadia. So unfortunately, Meg will probably lose because I know everything.
No, because Meg is the first lady of Stadia, coined by me.
I know, right? That's what I'm hearing, that I'm going to lose, and she has told me that I will probably just rage quit, so I won't even get to finish the show.
I have to say, it's great to see. I've just recently I've noticed Meg popping up. It's lovely to see her doing stuff. Because she's great. So one of those two shows. You got one today.
Today at 7 p.m.
Yep.
We'll be doing Red Dead Online at 7 p.m. Central, and then we'll be on Ryzak's show on Thursday.
Awesome.
And I'd have to double check the time, but
not clashing with John and his interview, are you?
No.
I mean, that would be awkward, but we'd find a way around it.
Well, and I do see that Ryzak, the game show host, is wanting to cheer one of the contestants, so I already know who that. The cards are stacked against me already.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Now, we did touch on what you were doing this week, but I want to come back and do it again because you were probably crowded out by these two gentlemen. So tell me, what is it you've got coming up this week?
I
know you said you were on shifts.
Yeah, working.
That's right.
And playing as much Stadia as I can on my lunch break on my Kishi. Probably.
How are you finding that?
Do you know what? For me personally, it's a little too small.
Right.
I find my hands get a bit cramped.
Okay.
Whereas I don't get that with like a normal controller.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to hold it, and then you're supporting the back of the phone with like your back fingers. You can't really relax them because then you drop it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a weird. And it's comfortable for a little bit.
I've got a PS Vita, which I haven't used for years, but same issue. And the other problem I had with the Vita was you couldn't push in the thumbsticks. So many games you have to push in the left thumbstick to jog, like in the Village. And not being able to do that was a pain. I think you're right. I think, to be fair, save your money and just put a controller underneath the thing.
Yeah, well, the UK still can't buy the official claw.
Right. Oh, okay.
For Stadia, so they never brought it out here for some unless I'm talking rubbish again, which I often do.
No, you're probably not.
But
Sure
like you can get the cheaper ones, but they kind of scratch your controller a little bit. So like
I ended up buying that when that was one of my first purchases as a Stadia accessory. Was one of the few things I bought from the Google store, and everyone's like, "You could just go somewhere else." I was like, "I don't want. If I'm buying Stadia stuff, I'm buying it from the Google store. I want their product, not some aftermarket thing that I don't know if it's going to ruin my phone, if it's not going to work." Well,
they do scratch. That's true. I've got a scratchy one. Which is okay on the Wasabi or the Premier, because obviously they're quite light, but on the Founders, it's the last thing you want is to gouge the dark blue.
I have some scratches on my Founders from third-party claws, but just check the Google store. You can't buy it in the UK, which seems bizarre. It's nearly 2 years after release, and you still can't buy this piece of plastic. But
come on, Google, get on with that.
This what am I up to this week? Thanks for asking, Aaron. Well, actually, not
you're welcome.
Not a great deal. I might do a little What's Up Rock tomorrow. I will see. I may or may not. Most of the new stuff's going to be coming up. Probably not this coming weekend. The weekend after, we might start a couple of shows. So I'm having a bit of a hiatus. There's a lovely word, and a beautiful flower as well. So I'm having one of those.
I like your test shows you do. Those random test shows where you're just testing stuff out, and then you have you look down and you have when I pop in, you have 10 or 15 people watching. What's supposed to be like a fun. I did that once too. I started a test stream. I'm like, this is only 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden I had 15 people. I'm like, well, I guess we're doing a podcast show now, because don't want to pick y'all out. Y'all came to watch. I'm just tinkering with stuff.
No, you're so right, Aaron. I actually love the spontaneity of those things. I think, with John, obviously, with you're setting up your schedules and you're saying, right, I'm going to be doing this, and then there's a whole big build up to it, isn't there? But actually, just jumping on and putting tests in, so nobody's expecting a great deal, and then getting a chunk of guys turning up and think, let's just chew the fat, let's just talk about rubbish, for half an hour, which is what I do anyway, even in my scheduled stuff. Is good fun. No, I totally agree, Aaron. Actually, it's a good point. Gentlemen, well, we're a little disappointing that we didn't get a thingy bob, but I'm sure that, as was hinted in the chat, that it will undoubtedly appear with Destiny in it and other stuff. And we know we've got the football game. We know we've got Destiny discounts. We may or may. I doubt we're going to see the Ubisoft, because that truthfully wasn't a big press release. It was just hidden away. Yeah. So that ain't going to appear on Stadia any week soon. But all of that's almost certainly going to come out either later or tomorrow. In the meantime, we've had a chuckle, chaps, which is what it's all about at the end of the day, especially with the great big grey empty chat box down the right-hand side. Thank you, Restream. Gentlemen, thank you so much as ever. It's been an absolute blast. Dom, great to have you on. And,
thanks for having me.
No, absolutely. No, not at all. And especially on your day off as well. So I appreciate that, my friend. We will see all of you next week, Rokk Review. There may even be one. There may even be a This Week on Stadia to coincide. Because if there ain't, as you've seen, there ain't no preparation done. It's just what it is. Yeah. Have a great week, guys. Thank you for watching.
Have a good one, everybody.
Before I go, let's just run this. Goodbye.